Alrighty, so this is gonna be a nice update video, so call it a visual update, not just me talking. Car is gonna look so much better, and I'm excited. We're gonna start under the hood here with this brand new yellow top Optima battery. It's a 3478, and I know it's not what goes in this car factory, but it's what fits in this car and has more cranking amps than what this car was rated for. I think it was rated for 650 or something. Now it's got 750, and if I had the red top, I know it would be 800. Well, 50 cranking amps isn't all that big a deal to me. The other thing I was considering is red top is supposedly only for cranking, starting power. And the yellow top is a deep cycle battery, which means it can be used and abused voltagely, kind of, so it can, because the Cadillac has a lot of things that draw electricity and draw off the battery. So a deep cycle is a whole lot better than just a plain Jane starting battery, because there's a lot more in this car than just starting it up. So, because there's a lot of things that start up besides the engine. So that's that, and I know it looks like it's barely going to fit with the studs sticking up and whatnot, but I already closed the hood last night and didn't poke a hole through it, so that's always good. So, the next thing, I should just do a picture of this. I got too much crap in the way again already. You can see a seat is out there, and for good reason. So I'll kick on the light a little bit. Now, I had hoped that the seats I just got were going to be entirely different, and I just spoiled it, but because my seat is just rock hard everywhere. I mean, look how fingers don't dig in at all. Just freaking hard with a fair amount of effort, and they look good, but they're just not all that great. Don't mind the crap in the way. I was doing a project yesterday. But anyway, so here's the new seats. This is the driver's side. Seat looks good. It's just got more wear and tear on the side. Not the end of the world. But same deal, except it felt a little bit softer when I sat in it. And I think that's more because it was used, especially the side bolster. Someone really, I suppose this is busted. They always break. Yep. So I got to use my new one I just got, which isn't a big deal, but seems a whole lot softer, especially where it's been kind of worn down. So at least for me, well, the back is rock hard, but even the headrest just feels softer and more supple. It's got some squish to it. Everything about this seat just felt nice in the junkyard, but then you come over to the passenger side and it's pretty hard, because it was probably hardly ever used, and rock hard, rock hard, rock hard, rock hard, rock hard. God damn it. Now, the thing was, online, I had read somewhere that the 07s and up probably had softer seats. People were confirming that, no one really denied it. But, I like my harder seats, is what people were saying. That's the contrary to the softer seats, okay? So, going with that, this place had an '08 STS. I felt the seats. Well, I should say the seats were trashed, and I mean that. Bad. It wasn't that they were worn, it was that somebody left the doors open. Oops. Someone left the doors open, snow, rain, whatever, and then they threw car parts in on top of it, a rack and pinion with tie rods, I think an intake manifold, the whole 9 yards. There was an indent in the seat cushion, about that far. I mean, that's probably 2 to 3 inches down, just in a circle here. Just, it was like that had to have poked through the leather. There was no way. So, and I did sit in this seat. This felt pretty good. And I didn't sit in this one, I don't believe, but I sat in this one. That's definitely more sat in. So, I think this will end up going in the car anyway. But, so besides the fact that they were full of snow, full of ice, disgustingly dirty, and possible hole blown in the bottom. Too much Taco Bell, right? But I just couldn't do it. They had a white STS right next to it. Now the dirty seats were in a blue STS like mine. But so I popped over to that one because I saw it had beige seats, and that's where these ones came out of. That was a very clean, a very good smelling car. Seats obviously look like new for the most part, and I sat in it and I was like, oh, this already feels different. The driver's seat felt different. It's softer. It's got more give to it. It's because it's been sat in. It's been used. It's been, it's just a whole lot more giving. I love that. So that's where these seats came from. That's what's happening. Now, I guess we can get into the other good stuff. I just picked these up today, obviously. I just unloaded this stuff. 9-spoke, polished, and I don't know. They had a style of these wheels, but they had like 2 studs every thing, and that's weird as frick. It's pretty ugly looking. But I like this style. It's classy. It's more of a platinum look to it when you're, looking at platinum CT or STSs, whatever. And all 4 are the same size, if I'm not mistaken. Now, according to them, it was, but 235, 50, 18. These 2 are the same, right? Nope. So this one's different here. I can freaking find it. I haven't even looked at the size yet, so that's why I'm looking now. They're 20. Well, these ones are 18. These ones are 19 for 2019. Okay, I don't like that wanted to roll on its own, but maybe it's covered in snow. Where the heck is it? Outside. There we go. 235, 50, 18. Okay, so we're going up a size. These are 18s. What I have are 17s. These are comparable to the front width on my car right now. 235, 50, 18, or 17, or whatever. Let me go back over here and we can take a look. Fortunately, the sticker got worn. Something scratched it. 235, 50, 17. So it's the same size of tire, just smaller at the sidewall, bigger rim. And these tires are pretty well like new. They were used when I got them. But these tires are brand new, pretty much. I just had these put on, and these are the 255 or 245. Nope, 255, 45, 17. These are Continentals. And there's 2 different tires on the new rims. Now, you may think that the rims kind of look poopy right now, and they are. They need to be polished. They need to be cleaned up and gotten rid of all the brake dust and whatever else. But as far as pitting and peeling, you're in pretty damn good shape. This is probably one of the better rims. One of the rims on the front, which is this one? No. Yeah, this one right here. This one had curb rash on it, pretty good. Phone would focus, of course not. Why would it want to focus on what I'm looking at? You can see some gouging on one side, and a little bit on the other. Not the end of the world, but they need to be cleaned up pretty good. There is some pitting. It's not horrible. And to be honest, there's some pitting on the ones on the car as is. And if you think the other rims look better, it's because I had already polished them. I'd already cleaned them. When I got the car, they were about this dirty, if not dirtier. So I went through with a buffing wheel, polished all of them, cleaned all of them, the insides, you name it. I did it all. So these rims will look pretty well like new, minus a few pits, but one day maybe I can get them resurfaced. But for now, I finally got myself the 9-spoke, the pretty wheels, platinum-ish. There's the lug nuts. Got them to throw the lug nuts in, and they even came with the center cap, so that's pretty good score, because a lot of places would sell you the rim without the center cap, without the lug. Oh yeah, oh that's extra. Well, sorry but not sorry, that's frickin' ass. So then we get into the other thing. There's a few updates going on here. Now, these are the rocker moldings or panels or whatever, the plastic guards for the rocker panels. They have a chrome strip in them. Ooh, right? The ones on the car don't have that. They're just blue. And I cracked the one on the driver's side because the jack slipped and frickin' cracked it. That was oh so wonderful. So hopefully these fit, because this was off the 08, so hopefully it didn't change much in 3 years at all. That'd be great. And then we get into the last update. Ooh, looks a little buggered. It's just dirty. Blue and chrome, baby. And looks like I forgot one in the truck yet, but they even have the transponder on them. So hopefully these are good. I'm gonna have to polish these. These got a fair bit of spider webbing and whatnot, but yeah, this is gonna look awesome. Blue and chrome. So there's gonna be more chrome. Got bigger wheels, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the rear tire size on the car as is the same height, maybe, but it's different. I'll have to look. There's a tire size comparison website, and I can do an overlap, and it'll show me what these look. These will pretty much be the same, if I'm not mistaken, to what's on the front. But hopefully they're the same height as what's on the rear as well. Now I know that the rear tires on the car right now are wider than these two that go on the rear. Oh well, okay. A little less contact with the road is less friction, and it's more fuel economy. And to be honest, with brand new tires, I don't need to be roasting them. So hopefully these aren't horribly flat spotted, because you can see they've been sitting in one spot for a while. Rotors were 100% rustier and rusty, almost unrecognizable. So hopefully they aren't horribly flat spotted, especially for this being a 2019 tire and that one being a 2018 tire. But this, I mean, they're just beautifully thick, like new, just all of them. Just awesome, man. Just awesome. So I'm excited to get these on the car, because it's going to be a heck of a difference in appearance. And I know it's probably going to ride a little bit stiffer with a smaller sidewall. But let me tell you, seeing these babies all shined up on the car with all the new chrome, it's just going to take my breath away. So excited. And these are really going to have to be buffed up, because they are getting a little scuffed and scratched since the car was sitting on the ground on its rockers. So that's why, obviously, the dirt. But I couldn't pass up the fact it was the same color. Now, the only other thing I really wanted off the car, and I can still do it at any time, is the driver's door. Or, sorry, back passenger door. Now, the reason why I didn't do it is because it didn't have the pinstripe, and obviously the pinstripe's here. Yeah, it's staying. But the fact that there's a big gash in the door here, and then when somebody locked the keys in the car and the door is pried away from, and you get about 90 miles an hour or so, and you start getting a wind noise. So that was the only other thing I was really thinking of. And they also had a trunk lid, but they didn't have the spoiler. I want the spoiler a lot. But you can see paint is peeling, so that's a little less than ideal. But it is what it is. What can you do about it? Oh, thumb's locking up. But, yeah. Unfortunately, this is rock hard, just like the new one. But this one's about the same wear as the other passenger seat I just got. So it's not a huge downgrade or anything like that. But the driver's seat definitely is softer, which for me is important. Grandma likes hard seats, and she said she thought the seats felt perfectly fine. And to be honest, they may be hard, But after 10 hours or 11 hours in the car driving to Michigan, my butt didn't hurt. That's a plus for me. Uncomfortable seats, you know, a couple hours in, it's like, oh my gosh, can I get out? Oh, but this was not bad at all. They're well bolstered to keep you in the seat while you're rip-roaring around, and I guess they're adequately padded to keep your butt comfortable or something, but this is definitely more used and should help keep me comfortable until I find some 2008 and up seats. But for the price, it wasn't bad, especially for the tires. I couldn't believe that. Man, you know, they wanted $75 a piece for each wheel. And they weren't, I'm assuming that price was just for the wheels. Well, he went out and made sure he still had them, called me back, and he goes, they got absolutely beautiful tires on the wheels. And I don't know if that's what you're looking for. And I said, well, how much is the whole kit caboodle? And he's just like, $350. Now it's just like, you get yourself a deal. My goodness. Oh, yeah. And, of course, I went out there and looked at them before I said, you know, oh, yeah. But I just, man, that's just going to look so nice. So incredibly nice. I'm just, golly, I can't wait to get them cleaned up. Whew. This car is going to look so good when I'm done with it. There's a couple mods I want to do yet. I guess while we're doing updates, I got the center console all put in with the wood trim and the shifter and whatnot, so I guess I'll give you a peek at that. Or maybe I won't because I don't have the key with me and the battery's not hooked up yet. Open sesame. Maybe I'll give you a real look at least. So console's in, new shifter is in, wood trim. Looking good. Now you can kind of see the difference in the ashtray. And obviously the shifter handle's got to get changed out yet, but from what this is to what that is, it matches just a little bit more. It's not heavily faded like the old one was, so that is great. I mean, it just looks so much better with the newer style. So really looking forward. Now, I guess here's a tip on getting seats out. You can see there's little slits in the floor on the front. The back have bolts. So you put the seat all the way forward, undo the rear bolts, and then you pick up on the rear of the seat and pull it backward, and that'll release the seat from the little slots. It's kind of a pain getting them back in, but it could be worse, a lot worse. And I wanted to get the black handle replaced, and hopefully the new transponder handle works a whole lot better than this one for both sides, because I mean, I gotta have the key right up against the paint right here in order to get the door to unlock, and that's just, no, we're not doing that. That's less than inconvenient, that's less than convenient. So, I suppose I gotta get all this stuff kind of buffed up before it goes on the car, and I'll put the wheels on and then buff them, but I gotta go get a buffing wheel for the die grinder so I can really go to town, just make a quick work of it. But I gotta go to town in order to go to town, right? So, but I got a buffer, and I got buffing pads for, obviously, for doing this. I gotta get them washed first. Probably have to go to do-it-yourself wash and spray them down or something, because they are filthy. I can't detail filthy with buffing pads, so. But it's going to be interesting doing the door handles. I want to say this feels a lot lighter than what's on the car. They almost cheaped out quite a bit on the newer cars for some reason, obviously for a lot of reasons, but the newer handles got a little more heft. I'm missing one of the front ones. It's in the truck yet. I had everything, so. Yeah, man, this is really going to shape up the car. For sure, it's already been 20 minutes, holy crap. I'm just going to have to get some new lug nuts, because these ones are getting pretty chowdered, pretty ugly looking. But they'll do for now. And why I needed these lug nuts, look at that one, big dent in it, is because they're exposed lug nuts now, whereas on the car they've got a center cap to cover up the lugs. And so you don't see anything but a flat cap here for the most part. A little concave, kind of like this is concave, but it's just cover. And and the lug nuts behind there are, well, if you've ever looked at a lug nut, this is a 2-piece lug nut. The chrome cap is, as it is what I said it is. It's a cap. It's crimped on there, and that's why it's all dented up and whatnot. It's a plain Jane, ugly-looking lug nut on the bottom with a beauty cap on top. And mine don't have the beauty cap, so what's on the car right now. So, and to torque the wheels when I'm on road trips, because usually I had just got the tires put on the car when I went out to Michigan, the rear ones. So I had to torque the lug nuts 300 miles in just to make sure they're good to go. And I got to pull the cover off, which means you got to have a pry tool with so you don't scuff up the cover. But now you can just throw a thing on there and click, 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 done. So, and I'm really hoping, I don't know if I mentioned this, TPMS sensors. This has TPMS. I'm hoping that all these sensors are better and newer. Like, I'm hoping when they got new tires put on, they had new TPMS sensors put in. They look okay. That one's kind of dirty, but they look pretty okay, pretty newish. And I got a couple on the car that are giving me issues. One of the right rear and the front right. And they work. Every single time you start the car, they work. But the minute you start driving down the road, all of a sudden, service tire monitor system. And it shows you that the right rear and the front right aren't reporting pressure anymore. So, and they're inaccurate from what your tire pressure gauge says. They always show low. I mean, you fill up the tire 32 psi, which I think recommended is 30 with the car, and poo chew in a shoe, it shows like 28, 29. You're like, great. So a few more degrees colder, and they'll be popping on low tire. So, but what I might end up having to do, depending if the rear tire size is different or not, I'll have to go to the dealership and have them program this tire size in the car, so that way the speedo stays accurate. But I'm excited to get these on the car. It's going to be awesome for sure. So stick around. There's definitely stick around for the result. That's going to be the fun part. And I took the turn signal bulbs out of the car, the super bright GTR 2.0 or GTR 2.0. Carbide, LED, CAN bus, whatever, LEDs, and stuck them in the truck. So because the car's sitting for the winter anyway, and I want nice bright lights on the truck. That was the plan eventually. It just never got done. So it's $69 for a set of them bulbs. So yeah, I'm already spending. Ooh, might have some cupping going on. Just a. Oh yeah, there's cupping. Yeah, buddy. That'll be interesting. You can hear it. Cupping going on. That's not ideal. And these are the newest tire. I think. 2019, right? 18. Okay, so they're a couple years old. 3 years old already. I think that said February of 18. These ones aren't bad. The newest ones aren't bad, so that's good. It just sucks that they're starting to cup, though. But the nice thing about all the same size tire, especially in the summertime, it ain't really going to matter which tires wear. The wintertime, obviously, these ones have a lot more siping than these ones. So, wintertime it matters, but it's not going to see the snow anyway, so it doesn't matter. I can rotate the tires, and we can hopefully get that cupping to subside. That is just the nice thing. I don't think any of these are directional tires. That's the biggest problem with what's on the car right now. Because they're two different sizes and because they're directional, I can't rotate them whatsoever. So that's a problem. I start cupping, you're living with it. But I should be able to rotate these and hopefully wear them in. And if not, we'll do an old-fashioned wear them in and get some smoke rolling, eh? So stick around for that video coming up in the spring. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. God bless.